Hello and welcome to the season 14 of the 15-ish minute coffee chat, a conversation providing tips for every entrepreneur and business owner.
All right, guys, marketing today isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things efficiently. With AI revolutionizing the business landscape, how do you ensure your brand stands out, connects authentically, and drives real growth? Enter Moniek James, a 3 or 4 or 5-time guest here on our show because we absolutely love her so much. She is the founder and principal strategist at Renegade Creative Media Group, a marketing consultancy dedicated to helping brands. I can't even talk because I'm so excited. Helping brands grow through strategic content, brand character development, and a customer discovery. She is a U.S. Army veteran and a veteran spouse. Moniek brings over a decade of experience and certifications in content marketing, inbound marketing, and AI consulting. In this episode, we're diving into the real essentials of marketing, why AI is a business accelerator and not a replacement for human connection. If you're ready to work smarter, not harder, and build a brand that thrives in an AI-driven world, this is the conversation for you. Woo!
I am so excited to bring Moniek on today because Selena and I went to a conference just last September, October, I don't know, sometime last fall, and listened to Moniek do her her workshop on AI, and I learned so much. A lot. And it was really, here's what I loved about it. Let me just tell you what I loved. I loved that she made AI approachable, not scary, and relevant no matter what your business is. That's what she did.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this. She had a packed workshop, and then there was then standing room. And I'm talking people behind us. We had the last row. And there were people behind us. And what I loved, we were telling Moniek later, I'm like, man, so many people were just writing or typing and questions. And so when a whole room is so engaged in that kind of content, it just means, that is exactly what the people are using in their businesses, because not everybody can afford a whole marketing team, right? And I think, I can just remember even our conversation a couple of years ago, right? Oh, AI, you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? And it is an integral part. So, Anna, look, we're excited to get Moniek on, right? So what is your call to action question for our watchers, listeners, viewers?
Well, it's kind of a give me question, right? Because the question is, do you use AI in your business? Now, if you say no,
liar.
I'm not going to call you a liar like Selena just did. I'm not going to do that. But I might say, are you sure? Have you really reviewed what kind of tech and platforms you're actually utilizing, and you wouldn't call any of those AI driven? Because AI is showing up across the board in so many different platforms and in so many different ways. It's pretty much nearly impossible to be online for a business and not be using AI.
Yep. Agreed. Anna and I have a client in healthcare, and their big thing is also about AI.
Yeah.
Right. It is in so many fields. It's here, guys. It's not going away.
Yeah. So give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Yeah. If you are a thumbs down and you're saying no, we might reach out because we would want to learn a little bit more about exactly what you're doing, where you don't have to use any AI at all.
Yeah.
If it's lemonade stand on the side of the street, I guarantee you Googled something to find out something.
Exactly. Right. How to make the recipe, all the things. Okay, so we're going to bring up her. We could talk about this all day long.
I know, but let's get Moniek on here, and let's do a bio and do Moniek.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Anna.
Okay, so Moniek James, the founder and principal strategist at Renegade Creative Media Group. She's a marketing consultancy, helping brands grow through strategic content, brand character development, and customer discovery. She's a U.S. Army veteran and a veteran military spouse. Moniek brings over a decade of experience and certifications in content marketing, inbound marketing, and AI consulting. Her signature framework, which focuses on brand identity, customer discovery, and content planning, guides businesses in building authentic connections and achieving measurable growth. Moniek provides consulting, training, and strategic support to empower businesses to scale effectively in today's digital landscape. And with that, we're going to take that bio down And we're going to bring Monique up, and Selena is muted. So I just wanted to remind her of that because she's talking in the background and no voice is coming out.
There is Monique. Monique, welcome back for the 1 millionth time. You are just a valuable resource and an expert in what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be back. And I have to say, if I hold the record for the most number of guest appearances on the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat, I would like to request a plaque or some type of commemorative item.
You know what? We can do that, actually. We will send one to you.
Yeah, you asked for it, Monique, and you're going to get it.
Something to commemorate the occasions.
I just want to say that if we send such a plaque or said plaque and commemorative item, I do expect it to be displayed prominently.
Yes.
Above all your retirement plaque, your college, your bachelor, all the things, like all of that should be like not the spotlight. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna find a spot right on one of the bookshelves right behind me, so it's in every video. It'll be in every video.
Monique, you know what I love about every conversation we've had with you? It's just how you evolve your marketing company, like with the times. And I am such a huge fan, right? Because I think if you get stuck in an old way, you're not going to give your clients what they need, right? In a world that is definitely moving faster than they are. So just kudos for you for always evolving. You're a legend. You know, yeah. I mean, everybody's,
I think that's my approach in life. Like just as Monique, the old people where I come from would say, I don't let the grass grow under my feet. Meaning they're not standing in one place and just like watching the world pass them by.
Yeah.
And that's my approach for myself as a woman, as a parent, as a spouse, all of those things. And so, I think even when the business sometimes, I think it's easy sometimes to get stuck or just to get used to the way you do things in business. But for me, when I'm coming out of a season where I've kind of had some new revelations or some new self-discovery things, it creates friction. Like, because I will sit down, it's like changing my clothes and then stepping into something that is old and outdated or whatever. And it creates that friction. And so even if I don't notice it in the business, I will notice the misalignment in myself and then say, okay, nope, we have to regroup. We got to pause and figure some things out just so things can be back in alignment.
So I'm going to refer back to the very last conversation we had with you on this show was about being stuck. So what you just said is the reason why you were an expert in that area. It was about, are you doing the same things over and over again and letting that grass grow over your feet and, wind up your legs and essentially keeping you in a place of lack of growth. So I love that you just referenced that. I'm like, see, this is why she comes on. This is why we have Monique.
Yeah. Everybody needs Monique. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And it's boring. I don't want to be bored. I don't want to do boring things.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about adventure, curiosity, all of those things. Just being willing to ask the question sometimes.
So I'm curious, do you ever rest?
I do. Oh, let me tell you.
Okay.
I rest so hard. I just came back from a trip. I took a trip by myself. I left my family and I went to the ocean and sat in silence on the beach. I watched the sun come up. I sat. I looked around. I sat. I ate. I sat. My rest has to be. I remember having a conversation on a different podcast where the person was like, well, what do you do to relax? I said, nothing. I do nothing because I wouldn't be able to have the harmony in my life if I didn't completely like clear the slate to do absolutely nothing. Because when I'm on, I'm all the way on. And so when I turn off, I have to turn completely off.
Moniek, seriously, when you said I left my family and I went to the beach all by myself, the first thing that sprang into my head was, are we allowed to do that?
Yep. Yes, we are.
Like, it almost feels like that's a big thing that you would have to give yourself permission to do. And I love that you did that. And then I love that. And then I immediately went, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to the beach and just be quiet,
Yeah.
And rest. That sounds amazing. Okay. We have to do our coffee cup selfie,
Yes.
or we're never going to actually get into the AI conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the beach and resting and Moniek.
Yeah. And then we're going to forget why we just know we're like, oh yeah, Monique's here to talk about marketing and AI.
I mean,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On 3, we're going to take a picture with our imaginary photographer. Look at her, Em. She's a rock star. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Cheers. Let's move you into that power.
The power
spot, and we're going to do this. So go ahead, Anna.
All right. Moniek, our very first question for you today is all about AI, right? And it basically what it comes down to is marketing it's about doing more, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my place. And AI is like that game changer in marketing right now. And it's a game changer in business, but there's a lot of fear associated with it. So, and the fear is that it's going to, be that robot that overtakes the world and takes control of everything. And it's like those old 80s, 90s movies we used to watch, right? Where AI comes in and then the next thing you know, we're subservient to it. Mm-hmm. And I know that's a little bit ridiculous, but that is kind of like the direction people's minds start to go when we talk about AI. So in your experience and expertise, why should AI be viewed as a business accelerator and not a substitute for human interaction?
I treat AI, it's a tool, just like any other tool that is used to build something. Or I used this metaphor the other day and I was like, oh, that's good. It's an instrument that contributes to the symphony that your business creates when you publish your marketing. It's something, it's a widget. It's something you use. And so for me, when I started to play around with it and learn it and get an understanding of how it could possibly help me in my own business, I was like, okay, once I figure out what it's going to do for me internally, then I'm going to start talking and teaching other business owners how to use it for themselves, because it is a time saver. It does accelerate, particularly in marketing. You get an idea about something, it shortens that time between idea and like actual implementation. It can do your analysis for you. It allows us to focus on the areas that we are gifted in, the areas that we are most passionate about, the areas that when we get in flow, we can excel. The AI can do the other things. The technology can do the heavy lifting. And I can't imagine any business owner not wanting to figure out how to get more done faster, how to save time on task, how to remove some of the subjectivity that goes into our decision making. There will be things, and I'm not going to talk about it, I'm going to just talk about me. There will be things that I know I need to do, but I don't do them because I don't want them. Period. I just don't want them.
Yes.
And sometimes, and that's a feeling thing. That's like a personal thing. When you can leverage a technology that is objective, that has no feelings about anything, it can really help you get out of the subjectivity and into the objectivity and really see the pros and cons, the opportunity costs of making decisions or not making decisions, of making choice A instead of choice B. it helps for me. It helps leaders, business owners, people who choose to use it, just be better, be sharper at the things that we're already good at. The tool, it's like the rocket booster. That's how I choose to use it. That's how I see it, and that's how I teach business owners to approach it in their marketing. Not like it's going to replace them. I think it's unfair to the machine to expect it to replace us. I mean, come on. We as human beings, we are multifaceted. I contain multitudes. Okay. There is no machine that anybody can build that will actually show up and be all that Moniek is. It's just not possible. It's not possible for any of us. We contradict ourselves. We lie. We BS sometimes. We say one thing and do something else. The machine simply does not have the capacity to do that. And so it is unfair to assume or to expect that it can step into the role of founder, leader, marketing professional in our businesses and represent our brands without our input, without our guidance, without us steering it to ensure that we get to the destination that we want to get to.
I want to bring up a post you had that I saw just yesterday, kind of in relation to this and how you say AI is an amplifier to if used correctly. And I really love that because you're like, it's not replacing you, it's amplifying also the strengths that you have. And that's such an important piece for people to remember. And I got, it was like, yeah, I don't, what post of Monique's do I not like, but I liked that. And I think everybody needs to understand, if you're strong here too, as well as using it as a substitute, but just think how more powerful it does make you. Because it's like having a double you working with you, right? And helping you be better, do better. So I just wanted to bring that part up too, because I really loved when you said that yesterday or whatever day I saw, but we
can. I think if we treat it like a tool, we'll use it responsibly. We wouldn't give a hammer to a toddler and tell them to go build a house.
No,
I don't recommend any business owner just let an untrained, indoctrinated, for lack of a better word, AI tool loose in their marketing without their input and guidance. You have to have, I challenge business owners to come to any tool with a chatbot like a Gemini, a Copilot, a ChatGPT, come to it with at least 15% clarity, know something about what you want the tool to do and what you want your output to be. Because if you can get to that, then you, with the tool, can get you closer to the 100% that you're looking for.
Okay, so we're going to put a pin in what you just said, because that is such a perfect lead in into our next question. But I wanted to get back for a second, because what I hear you say about that human connection piece is that it is still the business owner, the marketer's job to build the human connection where AI leaves off. That there is not a way for that AI tool that we have to do it all for us. And so what that says to me is, if you are a business owner or a marketer and you are solely relying on AI to give you your outputs, you're not doing it the way it should be properly done. And I love that you said it's not, the AI tool itself has to be taught. And then you also need to have that skill set to utilize it in a way that makes it effective. And then all that fear goes away, right? Because like you said, it becomes a tool, and you know what the tool's outputs are going to be because you have taught it what you need it to do. That is such a different way of thinking about AI, Monique. I don't think business owners or people look at it that way. They think of it as a replacement, and it is not. It's an assistant.
It is. Every tool that I have ever built is called an assistant for that reason. The assistant has to assist Like, what is the business? Who is the person that the tool is assisting? Yeah, I think my approach to marketing strategy and definitely marketing strategy with AI poured all over it. It's kind of birthed from my approach to confidence coaching, which it's self-awareness. You have to have some level of awareness of yourself first so that you can seek to empathize or be curious enough to ask questions about the humans that you want to buy your thing. If you are not even remotely interested in those people, then your marketing will reflect that. It will reflect that, and your bottom line will reflect that too. So when you think about it, it's like it's good business. It's good business to be willing to seek to understand what's going on in the lives of your intended customer, of your audiences, being willing to clarify your brand's core values and your mission and your edge, the things that make you great. What in the job market in the corporate world is we call the soft skills, like just being willing to see and hear and understand another person. That's good business, because when we think about the fact that consumers today, they're paying attention to those things. They're moving in alignment with their values. So if companies want to do business with those people, we have to be clear about what our values are so that those people will recognize their values in our marketing. They'll see, oh, this brand shares my values. The thing that is important to me is also important to them. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to buy. It's just good business.
Yeah. So I tried to put a pin on it, but we went right back to the same topic. So now I have the second question just scrolling across the bottom because it just naturally leads into answering it, which is, why is it so important for a business to define their brand voice? Right. Yeah. And when we're talking about that AI and your brand voice, this is where that human connection piece comes in. You have to be curious enough to ask the questions, to teach the tool to help you in what you need to do. Yeah. And you did such a good job of explaining it. I just want to be like, all right, now just rewind and then re-listen to that again now that I actually asked the question. Right.
Well, Monique, I love how you framed it. And if it's like having a human employee that comes into your business, right? And they don't know how to use the register. They don't know what the products are. They don't know who they're selling to. And you can teach them two ways. One, don't do anything and let them fend for themselves. And they're going to give you all kinds of stuff that might not be business related. Or you train them. You say, hey, this is how you use the register. This is how we talk to our customers. This is the products that sell the best here. Right? Let's talk about. And so I use AI every day, but I did not think of AI in that way like that.
Yeah.
To make it easier for people to not be as scared about AI. So I just want to make sure I said that. I thought that was such a great explanation.
The other piece to that, though, Selena, that you really brought up, Monique, was that self-awareness side of it, right? Mm-hmm. Like there is such a heavy responsibility still on the business owner to make this an effective tool. Yeah. You have to know your own brand. You cannot get away from that. And if you're trying to discover what your brand might be, you can ask AI for assistance in giving you ideas. But ultimately, you have to be the person saying, this is my brand. This is.
Oh, no. Did she disappear a little bit? Is this just ours? There she is. She's back, guys. Don't worry. She's back. She's back.
I was like, where'd everybody go? Because I was still on and you all left, but I apologize for that.
No, continue on, Anna. You were only gone for a couple seconds.
I'm not quite sure where I left off, but kind of the gist of what I was saying is that there's this responsibility of the business owner to know themselves and their brand and their voice and their tone, and then implement the tool, right? And that self-awareness piece is something we like to skip over because it can be hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, it can be really hard because like you said, Monique, we are very multifaceted individuals. I like orange and yellow and red. I also like blues and greens. How do I choose one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And the same thing goes with so many different like brand elements. When you look at like your business or business elements, how do you choose one? Because I like this, and that.
Yeah.
And that's where then coming to know your customer, listening to your clients, understanding what fits for them, right? And no AI tool is going to be able to do that for you. It really is. That is where that human connection piece comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to come with something. I did a week or so ago, did a video like demonstrating a tool and a custom tool that I built inside ChatGPT. And I want to say this because we've been talking about, as we were talking about how to use the tools to work for you. If you are unclear and you don't tell the tool the truth, you will still be unclear by the time the tool is done with you. So like, to your point, Anna, what you just said, if you don't know, if you're unclear, give what you do know and work with the tool. This is like it's a consultant. So I demonstrated using this tool and purposely gave it like half information. And I've had people ask me, well, how do you give it commands? I don't give it commands. I talk to it. I literally, okay, now this is what I want. Like I talk to it. And in the example, I said something like, okay, so yeah, I own a local pet store. I don't really know who my customers are. Because that's real. There are businesses in business right now who have receipts, they have sold to people, but they've never done, in this example, that customer discovery work. And so being able to tell the truth to the tool, okay, this is what I do. I've sold some things, but I don't really know who my customer is. I don't really know what my audience is. I don't really know what my brand voice is. And the tool can help get to that clarity, but you have to be willing to come with at least enough awareness to say, I don't know. I don't know. Help. And that's for that's why I, kind of talk about the tools, show how I interact with the tools to kind of break the ice a little bit. I think people feel like they have to engage with it. It's like when you go to a networking meeting, you're like, okay, I have to be buttoned up and I have to enunciate and all those things. No, you don't. You don't. It's not that serious. It is serious, but it's not that serious. You can engage with these tools in a way that is authentic, especially if you want the tool to help you develop that brand authenticity.
Yes. Especially if you want that tool to help you develop your brand authenticity. I love that. I love that what you're telling us is be honest. The tool's like your secret confessor.
It's not judging you.
It doesn't care. It doesn't care that you don't know who your clients are. You can admit that to it, and it's not going to give you an F on your test, right? Like it's not going to go tell the next person that sits down and uses it. Guess what? Monique doesn't know her clients.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's very interesting. So, okay. So, oh my gosh, this is so good. So Monique, one of the things you mentioned, and I know we're coming to an end of our show, right? But one of the things I wanted to ask you is, where would you tell someone to start? What would you tell someone to do to just start using AI, maybe like a little bit more effectively? I think every business owner at this point has jumped onto whatever AI tool that they use and thrown in a question or two. But is there something you would recommend, say, if you really want to start using it effectively, start here?
I think step one would have to be figure out the one task that you would want AI to do for you before diving into, learning about a bunch of different tools. Know where in your business you want the tool to fit, or where in your business you want the tool to get accelerate or change your results somehow. And from that awareness, from that place, then that kind of guides even how you choose tools. There are some tools that just aren't built or don't work well for specific things. So understanding, my focus is market. So let's say you want the tool to, or you want to get content written faster. You want to go from idea to written captions or written blog posts or written video scripts faster. Once you are clear there, now you can say, okay, so I need a tool that I can communicate back and forth with and pour ideas into, and it will give me finished products back out. That changes the field of available options, because you now know you have an idea of what you want the AI to help you with. So now you're not overwhelmed trying to figure out where to start or what to do.
That is so good, Monique. I love that you're saying, where you need to start. I love that. All right. So I don't know where Selena's at. She disappeared. Oh, there she is.
No, right. You guys, sorry. I apologize. I could hear everything, see everything. I was moving all the things around. My camera just decided, I don't know. It's technology. AI maybe didn't like how I was talking about her for a second, right, Monique and Anna? But I'm back. And I'm here for it. So, okay. Yeah, where are we at, ladies? What did I miss? Where are we going?
I actually was just going to move into Monique's toolkit, because I think that after what you just talked about with getting started, I'd really like to be able to share kind of what you specifically do, because I'm just going to say this, you're an expert in this area. You are one of the people that I would say, if somebody said, I don't know how to do this, I would be like, I'm going to give you the name and number of Monique, because Monique knows how to do this. You are friends with AI. Like, where other people fear it, you have become friends with it. And I love that, that you feel so comfortable in just playing with it, testing it, and then coming up with amazing results from it. I know this because I've watched you in a million different places doing this. So tell us about your toolkit, Monique, and how people can utilize it.
So I wanted to create something that was, like you said, Anna, like an introduction, an guided introduction, because I understand that, again, this whole AI thing can feel really overwhelming. And for a lot of people, when they're overwhelmed, they don't do anything. And so I am very much, when somebody comes to my house, for the first time at least, I am going to greet you at the door. I'm going to walk you in. I'm going to take your coat. I'm going to be like, okay, this is everything. This is where it is. These are the glasses. I'm going to give you the lay of the land, so you, from that point on, will feel comfortable and free to move about in a way that works for you. So that was my approach for introducing how to use AI specifically for marketing and content development and content strategy. So that's what this kit is, the AI, and it's a long name. It's a lot of words, but there's a lot in there. The AI-powered strategic content planning kit. So this kit contains a link to a tool that I built inside ChatGPT that helps users develop their initial persona, the initial version of your customer persona. It's free to use. It's contained in the kit. And there's a video where I'm demonstrating how to use it. It has some other tools that people can use to help with other elements of their marketing strategy, from analytics to customer discovery and research. There are a couple.
You guys, I downloaded this last night just so I could preview it and it is so good. Like, I honestly, just what she said, I was surprised. I was like, what? She talks about all these different components that you need to be using in your marketing. It is so good. Sorry, I just needed, I was just letting everybody know.
I raised my hand because I was like, wait, this is what you showed us at that last workshop we went to, where you had gone in and you had this whole, it was just ready to go. And all the business owner had to do was answer the questions, and they got a whole tailored, beautiful start to a marketing plan, which is amazing. Okay.
And that's exactly, like, I wanted every tool that I have built and will continue to build, because now I've been bit by the bug and I can't stop building tools. Anyway, I want the user to feel like they're being supported. That's my approach. If I'm working with a business owner one-on-one, that's what you're getting. If I ask you a question and you don't know the answer, I'm not going to, berate you for not knowing the answer. Okay, let's figure it out. Let's work through it together. And the tools have been built to do that like I would. So it asks follow-up questions. It asks clarifying questions. It takes in what you give, and using strategic analysis and marketing insight, it's going to be able to fill in the gap, just like I do as a consultant. Yep. So yeah, there's that tool that's in that kit that will get you started. I also realized too, when we throw around this word marketing, as insiders, we know what that means. But to the business owners who don't do this every day, they don't know that marketing includes content, customer discovery, PR, data analytics, paid ads, this, that, the third, the other. Like, it's 15 different things that all constitute marketing. And so I also wanted the kit to be an introduction for the non-marketer business owner to understand the scope of this word, so they can adjust their expectations. I have talked to and worked with business owners who have been burned by other marketers, partly because they went into it not knowing, and perhaps the consultant or the person that they work with didn't know what they didn't know. And so there was just a misalignment, with expectations and results. And so I'm big on empowering and really informing and teaching non-marketing business owners what this all includes, so they can manage their expectations, but they can also be empowered when they're having the conversations with a vendor that they're thinking about working with. They have some insight, and so they can ask the right questions and can really partner with the person. I never want somebody that I've worked with to walk away from a relationship with me and feel like they were took, or that they weren't supported. I didn't join with them and partner with them to create success for their business. And so I figured out and learned how to pour some of that into the tools. And so all of my tools are really, that's how they treat you. You get an answer, whether you know it all or you don't. It's going to nurture you. It's going to grab you by the hand. Okay, we got this. We're going to figure it out. We're here for the adventure. This is what we're doing. And we're going to get to whatever your destination is. And you'll be supported every step of the way.
Yeah. So once again, we're headed right back to that, why it's a business accelerator and not a replacement.
Yeah. And I do want to also go back to the fact that, like, if that is too much for you, that's when you then take the other part where, hey, hire Monique to walk through and use this to help you get to that next spot, right? Or to get you closer to being more comfortable. And I think personally, I'd love to hire Monique over not hiring Monique, guys. But, know that's an option, right? She's just giving you a dip in the toe here with this kit.
I know. We have seen her take this and expand it. And it really, like, the opportunity is so big.
Yes.
If you're not afraid to try it, right? Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Oh, Monique, thank you for sharing your toolkit.
Yeah, we will be sure to add that to the YouTube description, the podcast description, so that way you can get access to this. Because you'd be silly not to. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I called people a liar today on our show, and I said that they're silly if they don't grab it. I'm a little aggressive. It's not my style normally. So
Selena feels very passionate about Monique.
I am. If I could have a award, it would be being Monique's superfan, because I just cannot tell you enough how inspiring, how impactful. I enjoy being in her space, and Anne and I were thrilled that we got to see her again in Atlanta last year, and we pretty much spent every every day together at the conference. Where are you at? Where are we having a coffee? You know, I even had a moment where we got to meet a TikTok superstar with Monique, because I was meeting Monique, and we did, and I witnessed a wonderful moment between him and her as veteran to veteran, and it was just fantastic. I'm just, yes, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with you, Monique, in a safe way.
So safe, healthy.
Yes,
I was gonna say,
with boundaries. I promise.
Let's tell all the non-stalker people how to connect with Monique.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what we're on. Sorry, I thought it was about how much I love thee. All right, Monique, tell everybody, where do you want them to find you first? Where's your favorite place?
I think LinkedIn first. I'm on YouTube. I'm on the other places. My website as well. My first and last name. Come connect with me. I'm cool.
Yeah.
She really is too, like, very approachable. Okay. I mean, I also am a super fan. I will not wax long like Selena did, but I do enjoy.
I don't care. I'll keep going. I don't care what you say, Anna Larson.
No, all right. So we have come to the end of today's show. Monique, Selena and I both want to say thank you so much for being on here with us. As always, it is a pleasure. I know we've barely scratched the surface of AI and what we do, so you guys can expect to see her back on here again in an upcoming season. I'm putting it out there to the world. All right. You can always find us at AnnaandSelena.com. We also love to hang out on LinkedIn, so when you're connecting with Monique, make sure you're connecting with us as well. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so that, we can all love each other in that way, because it's almost Valentine's Day. So yay. All right, Monique, thank you so much again for being here with us today. And we will see everyone at our next 15-ish minute coffee chat.
Aloha.